Welcome to the Weekend Update for Liberty, Leadership, and Lies with Larry Linton. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about the actions that the leadership of the Tennessee Republican Party engaged in over the course of the past week? Proving themselves to be the incumbent protection party and definitely not living up to the ideals of the National Party's stated platform. If you've not been paying attention, the state GOP has removed people from the ballot just before the primaries. Most notably, Robby Starbuck, that was campaigning to represent the 5th Congressional District up near Nashville. The state Republican Party reported that he is not one of those bona fide Republicans. He failed to meet the criteria of having voted in 3 of the last 4 GOP primaries in the state. As I have mentioned, that was one of the criteria I failed to meet to be considered a bona fide Republican. Now, since Mr. Starbuck did not meet that requirement, he did prove his bona fides through the second method by being vouched for. Just give a listen to the list of people that have endorsed his campaign. Senator Rand Paul, Miss Candace Owens, Mr. Charlie Kirk, Congressman Madison Cawthorn, Congressman Thomas Massie, who, by the way, is rated as the most conservative member of Congress, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, and America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani, President Trump's lawyer Jenna Ellis. Then there's Sebastian Gorka, Arizona GOP Chair Kelly Ward, Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake, and many, many more, as well as the following organizations: Turning Point Action, Lexit. I'm not sure about you, but that is a very impressive list of people and organizations that are true defenders of our constitutional principles. Constitutional principles that form the basis for the stated national GOP platform. Can the other candidates left in the race boast of a similar impressive list? Not in the least, yet here we are. I would like to encourage all of the listeners to visit Robby Starbuck's website to learn more about him. And if you are a member of the Tennessee GOP, you should contact them and voice your opinion on this blatantly obvious act of good old boy party politics. I already have. The stated purpose of Tennessee GOP bylaws on criteria to prove yourself as a bona fide Republican is to keep Democrats from running and then getting elected as a Republican. The Trans-Publican General Assembly just last month passed legislation to enact residency requirements in congressional primaries, implicitly targeting transplant candidates mounting campaigns after recent moves to the state, calling them carpetbaggers instead of people trying to come to Tennessee to rescue our state from the communists on the left and the Trans-Publicans on the right. All one has to do is just look at the performance of members of the General Assembly that claim to be a Republican. See if the state party's actions match up with the people currently serving in office. Like I said, I've let the party know my thoughts on this matter, which I am sure will lead to removing all possibility of an endorsement by them in the future, which frankly I'm not too worried about. It would not hurt my feelings at all if I am never endorsed by Trans-Publicans in the state GOP or their elected officials in the General Assembly. In my opinion, they are traitors and enemies of both of our state and federal constitutions. The elected ones have not consistently fulfilled their oaths of office and should immediately step down. But hey, that's just me. As I mentioned in last weekend's update, if you want to see just what the elected members of the GOP think about your constitutionally protected Second Amendment rights here in Tennessee, then look no further than House Bill 2524. This bill would have been true constitutional carry in the state of Tennessee, not the travesty that the Trans-Publican Bill Lee and the rest of the General Assembly passed last year. The captioned text of this bill is this: as introduced, eliminates the criminal offenses of possession of a firearm or club with intent to go armed, possession of a deadly weapon other than a firearm with the intent to employ it during the commission of a dangerous offense, possession of a deadly weapon with the intent to employ it during the commission of any other offense other than a dangerous offense, and possession of a weapon with the intent to go armed in a park, playground, civic center, or other recreational building. In other words, constitutional carry. Well, it died in subcommittee. Again. Imagine my surprise. For Sevier County residents, specifically House District 17, which is represented by Andy Farmer, he sits on that subcommittee that killed that bill. Food for thought during the 2024 election cycle because he is running unopposed this year, which shocks me. Not really, but there needs to be some serious consideration of somebody primarying him in 2024. It is time for all the Trans-Publicans to be booted out of the General Assembly before they turn Tennessee into California. Until next Saturday, this has been the weekend update of Liberty, Leadership, and Lies with Larry Linton. I pray you all have a wonderful weekend. Stand in the arena with me.